Hi, this is Trepacer, and welcome to Trepacer's Saturday Horror Reviews. Okay, this is episode 21, I believe. Um, this movie I got actually in a trade I did with a great fellow YouTuber, Joker7523. This is a movie that I heard about, and I've heard good things about it, and I wanted to see it, so when I needed an item to be traded, I asked for this, and he graciously got this for me, and the trade we did. And the movie I'm talking about is 2012's, I guess you pronounce this Byzantium. I guess that's the pronunciation of it. Byz or Byzantium. Byzantium. I mean, it's that. Anyway, this movie takes place in, well, it came out in 2012, of course, and it stars Saoirse Ronan. She plays Eleanor, and of course, Gemma Arterton. She plays Clara. They're the two, I guess, main characters in the story. Okay, Clara is the older or mother in this case, and then you have Saoirse Ronan as Eleanor, the daughter. And the movie is basically about these two vampires, okay, that have lived for over 200 years. Like I say, Gemma Arterton plays Clara, the older one, the mother, and she makes her living, I guess, or supports her and her daughter by basically doing what she has to do. In case the movie first comes on, she's at a strip club, giving lap dances and stuff. And of course, Eleanor, she's the daughter character in this movie, and she basically writes in her novel, of what she really is and stuff, and she kind of tosses it to the wind. She doesn't, because she can't really, they have to keep it a secret that they're vampires, of course, and the way they survive, Eleanor, the younger one, she doesn't really, like going around killing people. She actually, in this movie, you see that she goes to people that are elderly and that are about to pass on, and she kind of gives them, you know, kind of helps them on their way. Okay, but she of course hates what she is, and she doesn't. She, like I said, she wants to tell people her secret, but of course she can't. And of course, like I said, Claire is the older, the mother, and she basically does what she has to do to survive. And they basically go from town to town, you know, living and getting by. And like I said, Clara is the mother. She basically does what she has to do. And into their life, after a kind of scary encounter, which I don't want to spoil, they basically have to move on to coastal. They go to a coastal town where where Clara runs into a lonely guy that his mother just passed on. His name is Noel, who has a hotel. I guess you call it a hotel, and it's called Byzantium. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Byzantium, uh, where basically Clara, who is she, like I said, she does what she has to do. She uses her feminine wiles, and of course it's Gemma Arterton, of course, to basically persuade Noel that to let her basically run. To keep her and Eleanor stay, get to stay there a few nights, and she basically turns the hotel into a brothel. Okay, and they basically tell their story. Eleanor, because Eleanor is basically she meets a guy named Frank who's like a waiter in a restaurant, and she kind of befriends him, and they get kind of close, and she wants to tell him her story, and they basically show their story like in flashbacks throughout the movie. They show their story in flashbacks, and also at the same time, they're being hunted, okay, by these mysterious gentlemen, which I don't want to spoil again. They're being hunted, because basically Clara leaves basically bodies in her wake when they go from town to town. She kind of leaves bodies in her wake, and these two guys are investigating it, of course, and tracking them down. Okay, and like I said, Eleanor meets Frank, and like I said, they get close, and she wants to tell him her secret because she hates what she is, and she wants to be able to open up. But of course, like I said, Clara has sworn her not to tell her secret because if they tell her, she says if you tell somebody the secret, then we'll have to kill them. Okay, and basically, like I said, Clara does what she has to do, and she, like I said, she is the mother. This is a spoiler, but she is the mother of Eleanor. Okay, and they, like I said, they tell their whole backstory of how they became what they were, in flashbacks and stuff throughout the story. and I really, really like this. Is directed by Neil Jordan, of course, and I really, really like this movie. It really, touched me, and I liked especially the performances by, of course, Gemma Arterton's Clara. I thought she was outstanding in her part because she's loud and she does what she has to do, and she's emotional, and she really loves her daughter Eleanor. She's basically doing what she has to do to make to basically let them survive. Okay, and also I love Saoirse Ronan as Eleanor. She's, like I said, the thoughtful one who's who hates what she is and stuff, and yearns to be able to tell somebody her secret, and like I said, and then she meets Frank and she kind of bonds with him, and wants to get close to him, but of course she can't. So there's lots of moments in the movie where she basically runs away from him because she wants to tell him her secret, but she can't at the same time because, of course, if Clara was to find out, Clara would kill him. Okay, and like I said, and of course, like I said, at the same time they're being hunted by these mysterious gentlemen, which like I said, I don't want to spoil that story, but again, they tell their story in flashbacks, how they became what they are and stuff, and they even tell Clara's backstory herself, her mother's backstory, and I think that makes it that much more interesting. And also Johnny Lee Miller is in this as well, and I really, really like this movie. It really, it's not your typical vampire story. Okay, like I said, this is spoiler. They go about in daytime. There's not they're in coffins and stuff, and they can't stand the light or nothing like that. But they are vampires, and it really is a really amazing movie. Some people may think it's slow in parts, but I liked it. I liked the pace of it, and I liked it that they showed flashbacks, of how they became what they are and stuff. And it really, like I said, I love the performances by the two lead actresses. So I would give, I'm saying it again, Byzantium, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed this. Okay? So anyway, if you've seen this movie, let me know what you think of it. Feel free to leave comments down below. And if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. And I'll also upload this video to the Horoscope 101 channel, as well as my own Trepacer Saturday Horror Reviews, episode 21. Okay? Anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care.